Four.
Now, cool.
You're on.
I think you're doing a commercial. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Coffee with Ori. It is Monday, and it is another week that has gone by. Another wonderful week for certain people. A somewhat good week for others, and somewhat horrible for others. And what do we say about horrible people who are dealing with horrible situations? We say nothing. If you don't feel good about your day, go back to sleep and start out the next day. Today's subject is going to be about why do we feel that when we are at a certain level, why do we feel that we need to pick people up and push them or pull them towards our level when in reality they may not be ready for our level, or they just don't have it in them because they don't have enough faith within themselves to believe that there is a higher dimension or a higher power. You know, I want to give you all I want to give you all a simple synopsis what conversation I had this afternoon with my older sister, who is a born again Christian, and what we were talking about was quite interesting, to say the least, because I never get to express how I feel about things without her having a total meltdown about things. And today's outlook was that you know women across the world don't see the damage that they're doing to themselves because they may vote for a right of a woman based on their own opinions, and their own opinions meaning like abortion. Not everybody is for abortion, and I get that, but you also have to see things very clearly. As a woman, you have to understand that it is something that's between you and God. It's not between anyone else, just between you and God. And if you make a choice, and the choice you made, you know the reason you made it and why you made it, then that's the only thing that matters. That you made the choice and you understand why you made the choice, and it is something between you and God, not between you and the government. And a lot of you women out there that are voting against women uh, deciding to have abortions, why? You're going against your own kind. You're going against your own gender, and this is one great example of women. I see you. I see dead people on the other side. This is one great example of people not being at your level. I see your screen, Dr. D. I see your hands, Dr. D. So this is a very good topic, dealing with what we're going to talk about tonight, because there are millions and millions and millions of children that are without parents all over the world. I don't see any of you adopting them. I don't see any of you going out there and wanting to be a mother to them and adopt. Hey, why not adopt 4 of them at a time, or 5 at a time if you can afford to do so, instead of talking all this blah 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 and really doing nothing about it. It saddens me to see that you are supposed to be being one with your sisters, and keeping that strong, but yet you're not focusing on anything except yourselves. And I find that to be, for you people, who call yourselves a Christian, I just find that not to be Christian-like. So if you're going to talk about somebody and you're going to put them down because of the choices that they made with their children or their siblings, then it just makes you no better than the book that you're reading. You know, and if the book that you're reading states that you have to do that, then what good is it? I'm just saying. Okay. Now, one other thing that I am talking about when we talk about this particular subject, excuse me, is if you work very hard at getting to where you are, we're talking about meditation, we're talking about learning about chakras and vibrations and cutting cords and going to even therapy. And it's taken you a lifetime to work on you. Who better than you to know what is right and what is wrong? You know, when it comes to knowing the balances between what it is that you're doing to help yourself and what is that you're doing to keep yourself away from people like that overwhelm you, that take that want you to listen to them every 5 minutes, that are constantly complaining about the same things over and over again. You know, granted, I can't say that I was not guilty of that. I was guilty of that, but I just choose not to talk about things that are unimportant to other people and that are important to me, because things that are important to me may not be important to other people, and I have to understand that and not be upset with it. But then again, I don't have to choose to listen to your nonsense either. If I feel that what you're saying to me doesn't apply to me and doesn't lift me or change me in any way, then why am I listening to your BS? If you can't even call me and say good morning, how are you, how are you doing, how are you feeling? If you can't call me in the morning and say those things to me, those three things, then why should I even give you the time of day when all you're going to do is go into your own shit? No, sorry, it's not that important to me. So, with this being said, you have to really analyze how far you've come, one, how far you're going, two, how far do you think that you've reached, that's three, and four, how far did you really get, and what did you learn behind all these lessons? Because that's the key. Not just having these lessons, but what have you learned through them? You know, because I know that when you're hurting and you're going through something emotional, you don't learn the lesson if you're not going through anything. You learn the lesson if you're only going through emotional stuff, because that will show you how powerful you really are. Because going through things is what teaches you how to grow within. So we got to ask yourself, how much do you think that you have grown in the time frame that you started your journey? Well, you know, how much did you think you've grown? If you are still an insecure person and a jealous person, then you haven't grown much. If you believe that you are at the level that you need to be and everything is okay at this level and you're good, then you still haven't learned a lot. And if you feel that being to be still, to just stay in one spot, one position in where you are in life and be comfortable in it, then you haven't learned anything either. So these are repetitious lessons that we have to somehow learn, that we are not a prisoner to. We have only allowed ourselves to be a prisoner of it because we have allowed everything and anything to jeopardize our own feelings just to apply them toward other people to make them feel better, when in reality they're not making us feel better, they're only making us feel worse. Now, there are a lot of people in the world that we may neglect as we're walking to the train station or the bus station that are poor. Hi, Sadia. Yes. Amen. You have a lot to grow. You're growing, but you have a lot to grow. I agree. I do too. We all do. We don't stop growing until we die. So as long as you know that you have a lot, you've grown a lot, and you have a lot to grow in, to grow up still, then you know what? Then you hit the nose, you hit the nail on the nose, because at the end of the day, it is what it is. You know, we learn and we keep learning until the day we die. But if we stop learning and we feel that we're too grown to learn, then we haven't learned. That's just ignorance to believe, to make us believe that we are exactly where we want to be, where we are, when in reality we're not. Manifestation is a very important part of growth. You know, manifestation, we know that there are certain things that can happen faster and there's certain things that cannot happen faster. So we can manifest things quicker, but it all depends on what it is. And we can manifest slower because we doubt ourselves. Manifestation works. I'm living proof that it works. I'm living proof that a lot of things that I've manifested because I don't give up on the manifestation. I don't. I change it up every now and then, but I always go back to point A and to point B in manifestation, because it is very, very important to go back to basics when you think you failed. Now, there's no such thing as failures. There's only people who stop trying that become failures. Being at a certain level, it means that people are gonna look at you with funny faces. You know, people are gonna make fun of you. People are gonna look at you with eyes, you know, rolling their eyes at you and doing all kinds of things. People are gonna often look at you in a different way, and that's okay. They can look at you however they want. People are ignorant. They're always gonna say things that they're gonna talk out their asses. So they're always gonna make these stupid remarks about other people that they believe that they're not even walking in those shoes. They believe they're walking in better shoes than those people, when in reality they're not walking in better shoes. They're walking without shoes. So then you got to ask yourself, then who really is better? You know, a person who's walking with shoes, or a person who's walking barefooted, thinking that he's walking with shoes. Okay, so these are slight scenarios of things that we have to think about and talk about that are very important to us. Okay, know that sometimes people that say that they're ready for change in their life, they really are not ready. They just want you to help them pull you, for you to help them pull them up. It's not that they're ready. It's that they just want to hear you. They want to see you. They want to show. They don't want you to tell them what you've been through. They want you to show them what you've been through and pull them up so that they don't have to go through the struggles. That's a no-no, guys. Everyone has the God-given right to choose which way their life is going to be, and it is by God's will that we can make mountains move, and that's okay. But there are a lot of magic in the world, and it's coming back to fruition, which is the Sufism and the Kabbalah and the Vulcan magic, which is from Bulgaria, but it's also Viking magic. You have the witches, which deal with. Some people say they deal with black magic, but I beg to differ, because I was on Wicca for a long time. So I beg to differ. I believe that all magic can be, elemental magic can be controlled, as long as your mind is clear on what it is that you want. So as long as it is not to destroy someone so that you can gain, so you can have personal gain, you won't you won't affect the balance of the fabric of spirituality. But if you hurt people constantly, and you're constantly inside the fabric of the dead, then all you do is you push people down, you know, and that's something that is very important, that you have to understand, that we are individual creatures and we're individual human beings, and we're born here for a reason. We're put together for a reason. Our lives have become puzzles, and yet they have become intertwined with one another. And that is what we try to show you here, is that our lives are intertwined. We have a lot, we get a lot, we do a lot, and we serve a higher purpose in life. And because we do serve a higher purpose, we're moving forward in the things that we need to shift and the things that we need to change. And that is okay to change certain things. It is okay to want to improve ourselves. It is okay for us to want to continue religiously to move in the direction that's going to help us to better ourselves one way or another. And these things are very fundamental and very important for us to learn and to understand. We're not here to be a clown for anybody, because this is not a circus. We're not here to do stunts for you to prove that spirit exists, because spirit doesn't need our help to prove that they exist. Spirit has their own way of proving and showing proof that they are real. So they don't need us to help us to prove. They don't need us to defend them either. Spirit doesn't need for us to defend them. So sometimes we think that by defending spirit, we're doing the right thing, when in reality we're not doing the right thing at all. We're doing the wrong thing, because spirit didn't ask us to help us. Spirit asked for us to let us be guided somehow, so that we can learn everything that we need to learn about them and everything that's going on in the world. Being receptive to spirit and making an understanding that you are an incredible human being, and the spirit can work through you, and the spirit can lift you, and the spirit can move you, that is magnificent. And as long as you know that, then you know that you are able to withstand anything that is thrown your way, whether it be witchcraft, whether it be, physical witchcraft, mental witchcraft, spiritual witchcraft, verbal witchcraft. There's so many different types of witchcraft. And if you learn and you know that there are so many different types, and the people can gouge you with one or the other, then you're okay. Then you know that you have the ability, because you have read, because reading is fundamental, and it's always good to read books on all different types of religions. And I don't mean just to read books. Read spells that can help you, but also spells that can reverse things, and use them. And if they work for you, then you know that they've worked. So you put them aside, and you create your own book of magic. So that way you don't have to worry about anybody telling you what you can and cannot do with magic, because magic is magic. No matter how you put it, magic is magic. And magic will only destroy you if you constantly use dark magic, and you're not using anything to refresh your things, your tools, and and to clean them properly, so that you can, when you use them again, you know that you have a good chance of winning a fight than losing a fight. Okay, these things are very important. There are many things that a lot of people assume that they are privy to. There are a lot of things that people feel that you owe them, so that's why sometimes they act shitty, because they feel like you owe them to help them. Give me a second. Let me just get some water. I need some water. I've had coffee. I need water. So anyway, they feel privy, or they feel like you as a human being owe them something, or that you have to pay them something in order for you to grab their attention, when in reality, you don't know anybody anything. If you are a good human being, and you're a good soul, and you've done everything in your power to make yourself known and seen as the person you are, you're not putting on airs, you're just showing people that you're a kind person, then you know what? Why do you feel that why do you allow them to make you feel like you owe them? Because you don't. You don't. I was telling Dr. D earlier that sometimes when you try to help people and you try to do something for free and you're helping them and they don't pay attention and they're not listening, maybe when you start to charge them, maybe they respect you more because you're charging them. And that is important. That is important because when you clean somebody or when you give someone advice and you're not charging them, you're giving of your spiritual energy. And I don't believe that. I believe that it is okay if you have a classroom to um, to share of your energy to a certain degree. But I don't feel that you should share everything. I feel that there are things that you need to keep to yourself, and there are certain things that you need to just focus on yourself, and it will help you feel better. I don't think that anyone in particular is trying to take from you or hurt you in any way. I think sometimes you take away from yourself and you hurt other people because your intentions were never good to begin with. I feel that sometimes you walk into a place and you like the energy and you like what the person is offering and what the person is about, but then you try to usurp their energy by stealing materials from them, thinking that it's going to make you a better person than them. Sometimes you do achieve great things in life by stealing other people's materials, but that's only because you're charging and because we live in the superficial world. And unfortunately, people have to see that, the proof is in the pudding, and then when you charge people, they will respect you. There are people who have misconception about Wicca or any spirituality, Santeria. They have this misconception that, oh, well, you shouldn't have to pay all that money for this, and you shouldn't have to pay all that money for this, and and I really dislike people that way, who are penny pinchers, because if they want to spend time at a club, then they do it. If they want to spend money on a watch, they do it. If they want to spend money on clothes, they do it. But the moment that someone's trying to help them, then it becomes a problem. I will not give people um, I will help people the best way that I can, but I will never give people orishas or deities or do anything. You just said the same exact thing earlier. You've grown and you have more to grow, Miss Sadia. We know that you do because you're an intelligent girl. So I know that you've learned a lot, especially being around me. You've learned that sometimes when you're doing stuff spiritually or in the religion, you have to charge. Sometimes people don't want to pay and they don't feel that they should have to pay. But guess what? I paid for everything I've done, every ceremony, everything that I've received, I paid for. Nothing was given to me. So therefore, I'm not going to charge you less than what I paid for what I received because you feel like you're the prince or the princess that you don't have to pay for shit. I'm sorry. It doesn't work that way. And if you feel that I have to not charge you for things, then I need not associate with you. And it's not about the money, it's about the principle. It's about the principle of the thing because at the end of the day, no one comes to my house and hands me shit. I work hard for what I have. I work very hard to keep a balance. I work very hard to keep my spirits in order, to keep my mind focused, to keep myself alert, and to keep everything about me at a balance between light and dark, and just constantly walk on the gray, knowing that this was a gift and I appreciate the gift, but at the same time, the gift is not for free. Because the same way that a prophet in the church is a good prophet, he still collects money for tithes. We're no different. We have prices that we set, and that is the price that we set. It might not be written in stone, but it is written in wood. So the bottom line is that we know what we charge, and sometimes you have to charge a little extra when people don't want to uh, cooperate with you. You have to charge them a little extra, but it's not because you're trying to explode them or exploit them. You're just trying to better them and teach them how to keep their mouth shut and how not to talk about things so that things within them can grow a little bit more. It is important that growth is the key player in this, because you don't want to just do things and not have them grow. You want to be able to grow and think from a place of love and a place of understanding. You don't have to constantly be running. You can run to someone who is kind and nice and have that type of energy that you're looking for. Now, the people that you deal with on a regular basis, they might not be the best people in the world to deal with, but you have the ability to either move forward or to stop. That comes from you. That doesn't come from anybody else. Okay. Now, I think that in our lifetime, I think that we have seen our parents go through good, bad, and ugly situations. And sometimes these good and bad situations, we are helping them move forward by not trying to change them. So we take them to places that we know deep in our hearts that these people are full of shit, but you take them anyway. You get them to get read, and then they say one thing 90% of the time it'll be something you told them, and then they go ahead and they tell people, I'm not one of those mediums, I don't need any of that. What I do know is that moving forward in life, there are many things that can shift us into a better light, just like there are many things that can shift us into a negative light. So sometimes we have to look at it and ask ourselves, which light do we want to walk in? Do we want to walk in the light of promise, or do we want to walk in the light of a lie? I choose to walk in the light of a promise, not in a lie, because with one in a lie, all you do is you're just causing chaos and you're causing problems, and you're not causing anything good. All you're doing is causing turmoil and just creating a problem all the way around. And that to me is not important. The important thing to me is to make sure that the knowledge that I'm teaching is being reciprocated. The knowledge that I'm teaching is helping, and the knowledge that I'm helping is either strong enough for you to say, for you not to be ashamed, and for you to ask a question, whether it be silly or not. Let me be the judge of that. Ask a question, see how you're doing, see how you're feeling, and then take it from there, because those things are very important to take from there. I find it to be very appealing and very energetic when you take time from a human being that is spiritual, that's trying to help you, and you waste their time. To me, that is the icing on the cake. And I think that a person who is spiritual, that will be willing to help you because they care about you, and you all you do is run away from them, I think they're foolish, because they're following you all the way around the world, and they know that they want to help you, but they don't really know why. Maybe in the beginning they liked you, but then 99.99 of the times they're just trying to help you gather your thoughts and gather your feelings. They're not trying to hurt you, they're not trying to destroy you. All they want from you is to help you, to heal you, and to help move you along, because those things are very, very important. Now, just know that all the desires you have can actually work in your favor if you learn how to clear your mind. You cannot have issues with money and say, I want this to happen. And if it doesn't manifest at the time frame that you want it, why would you get mad? You know, if you don't really have faith, why do you get mad? You know, the key is to know that you have a lot of great things coming. The key is for you to move yourself faster, to move yourself quicker, to make yourself more legible, um, and just help people the way that you would want them to help you. Love your neighbor the way that you would like your neighbor to love you. And then you will see how these things will manifest into magnificent places, magnificent things and places. You know, you will start to travel and do all these things that will be amazing, and in the process you will meet a lot of great people. But don't ever feel that you have it so under control where you feel that everybody that has taken from you owes you, because they don't. Because if you didn't want people to take, you would not bought all those things. If you knew that somebody was going to use you, why did you put yourself out there to trust yourself when yourself is not going to be a trend? You yourself are not going to be accepting everything that comes along. You're going to have to decide in which direction you want to go. And that is the important key of it all. Knowing what to do, knowing what to say, knowing when to become appreciative of everyone and their spirit and their guide and their ancestors that have walked with you, and you in the backside which you walk on. Nothing better than them to help you through the crisis you're going through. So, again, my only feedback on these things is that, you know, there is a plan, and God has a bigger plan than we do, and He has a lot of opportunities to show us what His plan is. But sometimes we want to see, and sometimes we don't want to see. Sometimes you should see. Sometimes I don't know why you don't want to. You know, sometimes things are weird. Sometimes things are open. Sometimes we can gravitate to things that make us better, and sometimes we can gravitate to things that just make us feel like shit. So, this is just food for thought, and understanding that, you know, spirituality is a very important key in life, and it is our birthright. Okay, but although that it is our birthright, many of us that go through these spiritual changes, we don't do it because we want anything in return. We do it because it comes from the kindness of our heart, and we try to teach it. We try to teach it the best way we can and to the best of their abilities. So that's where we are going to leave off. I'm going to try this meditation, which is a meditation to remove. It is a meditation. It's a whole body regeneration, um, healing, emotional, physical healing. I want you to pay attention to it. I want you to take a deep breath, and I want you to hold it, and then I want you to release it. I want you to take a deep breath. I want you to hold it, and release it. I want you to take a holy breath, a deep breath, and I want you to make sure you hold it in deep and let go of all of that bad energy. I'm going to play this for you so that you can get a better understanding of how to remove negativity from your life. I want you to understand that this meditation, whole body regeneration, is not just for the body, it's also for the mind, to reprogram the mind and the things that you want and how you want these things to change in your life. So it's up to you to put them on. Meditation doesn't require for you to be still for 5 minutes or for 10 minutes or for 20 minutes. You can listen to meditation on your way to work and not speak a word, just listen and listen to it repetitiously, and you will learn and it will help guide you. This particular one is to remove the negativity so that you can better understand yourself, your family, and everything else around you. Okay, guys, let's shake it up because we only have a couple of more minutes to go. Uh, this meditation again was to remove all negativity from you in different ways. And what I'm going to do as I talk to you right now, again, what we were talking about was we don't have to pick everybody up from our journeys because that is not who we are. We're not meant to pick everybody up from our journeys. That's on them. And we are not responsible for everything that people do. We are only responsible for the things that we do. We can't always hold ourselves accountable for things that we think that we should hold ourselves accountable for because we are not um, we're not Jesus, and I don't think anybody in particular is trying to be Jesus. I just think that people lose themselves um, with the whole idea of trying to be kind and loving and wanting to heal the best part of other people. And again, that is not our job to do that. We can help some people some of the time, but we can't help all the people all of the time. So we have to make sure that we keep ourselves going the best way that we can because that is super important that we do that. We don't owe that to anyone, and we don't owe um, we don't owe people so much like people think that we do. We really don't. So we have to continuously keep walking in the in the in the light of positivity and the light of goodness to keep yourself moving forward and helping yourself to make changes in your life. So I think that it is important that you keep yourself focused on what is more important in your life. In this case, it will be love and understanding and knowing how things are shifting and how things are going to continue to shift and how things are going to move in very positive directions. We have to keep ourselves moving in that because if we don't, we lose ourselves. And if we lose ourselves, then it'll be just as difficult to find where we're going and in which direction we're gonna go. So let's just keep ourselves moving in a very direct line, not trying to perfect anything or to perfect anybody's ways, but just to perfect who we are as individuals and to love who we've become and who are we continuously becoming because these things are super super important. I already sent this meditation to a lot of you. I hope that you save it and I hope that you also understand it and understand that this particular meditation is to remove negativity, to remove things out of your way, and to allow goodness to come in without having any fear whatsoever. We're living in times where it, these are rough times and we should fear many things, but we're also living in times where we should not live in fear and we don't need to have any of these obstacles that are in a way stop us from achieving these great things that we want to achieve. And it's never too late to learn to achieve them and to appreciate ourselves rather than to have other people appreciate us. We need to learn to appreciate ourselves first. And then we can move forward into getting what it is that we want and we desire and we deserve. Because, yes, we deserve a lot of great things to come to us. So we need to allow ourselves to embrace that and to let it come and to let it shine and to let us to bring us closer to these things that are so important to us without having any fears of any kind. Okay. It is 9:55. I will be saying goodbye. Commercial will be playing on. I will speak to you next Monday. Light and love, peace and light, um, heart and soul. Hi, Ori. Hi, Sadia. Did you not say hi to me earlier? I didn't see a lot of people on here say hi. Hi, Coralis. Hi, love. How are you doing? I'm well, darling. How are you? I hope you enjoyed the show and I send you information. Eddie, what's up, brother? I send you information. I sent you this meditation. I hope that it works. And good evening to all. Like I said, love and light, like I always send you. And and do the meditation is very, very important that you guys keep on this because these meditations that I'm giving you, I'm choosing them for a reason, and I'm choosing them in that order so that you guys can play them, so that you guys can heal and also remove negativity. Okay. I send you light and love like I always do. I pray for you every day, and I send you nothing but perfect, perfect harmony through these meditations. And I hope that you enjoy them as much as I do. I will let you go. I will speak to you next week. Ms. Dr. D, I will speak to you tomorrow. And I have a couple of things that I got to do, and I'm going to do them because I am exhausted. So I will talk to you tomorrow. And to all of you, Dr. D will go into commercial, and then we will move forward.